friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm ranking my December eyeshadow palettes. So if you guys like a good ranking video, then just keep watching. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I have a huge passion for eyeshadow palettes, especially indie ones. I have a very large eyeshadow palette collection. And if you guys like to hear my thoughts on new makeup releases, especially from a tan girl's perspective, then this is the place for you. Highly recommend subscribing to my channel, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, you guys, I tried 10 palettes in the month of December. I'm pretty sure my count is off because I probably use like my Shop My Stash palettes and stuff, but I'm not going to include those in this video because I cannot perform the mental gymnastics of going back 1 month and figuring it all out. So I'm just going to go off the list I keep on my phone. One palette for sure I know was an old palette. I'm not going to include that one. And then I also have the palette that is a collaboration between Bad to the Brow and Clionadh. This is an all shimmer palette, so I don't really think it's fair for me to include in my ranking. But I just wanted to give Clionadh and Millie a huge shout out on their collaboration. So beautiful, so many fun special shades. You guys already know how much I love Cleon Cosmetics, so just wanted to mention that I did try this palette in the month of December and they did send it to me, but I'm not going to rank it because I honestly don't think it's fair to rank all shimmer palettes with matte palettes. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. I am going to start off with palette number 8, and again, I always say this, it was really hard to rank these palettes. They're all really good. The other caveat to this whole situation is in December of last year, I feel like so many brands launched these like beautiful blue, purpley, snowy, just like crystally vibed palettes. So they're all kind of in the same color story. And I feel like you can't really pick a bad palette in this pile, but I just had to start somewhere. So I'm going to start off with the Alter Ego palette. And I also ranked this a little bit lower because this is a dupe palette. And I don't know how you feel about dupes, but I don't feel like copying somebody else's homework, I mean color story wise, should give you a higher ranking because this color story is a dupe. So hopefully that makes sense. But I feel like Alter Ego's saving grace is that it's a really affordable price point and they have a good formula. I was really amazed by the formula in this palette. So this is their Sundown palette. I think it's like under $30 and it's a really awesome everyday color story. So I'm ranking this in the 8th spot. Okay, in 7th place, this palette has a really awesome formula. I'm so excited for their new launch. Ranking the Lethal Cosmetics Spellcraft palette at number 7 because it's a very grungy color story. So I don't know that you'll love this unless you're really into kind of deeper eyeshadow looks, which nothing wrong with that. I think this would also be a fun palette to pair with a lot of the other Lethal palettes because they do have a lot of like more pastel-y palettes, so this would be fun to pair with that. But oh my gosh, the formula of this palette is amazing and I really like this packaging too. They really did something different, and I feel like with fantasy books being so in right now, this would be such a cute little palette for a fantasy lover out there. I feel like this is gonna go by really quick. So in 6th place we have the Frozen Kiss palette from Gourmand Girls, and this is really beautiful. It's a cool tone palette, and as you can see, frozen, snowy, the vibes are here. We've got some beautiful blues and purples, and I really think this is a cute palette. I'm ranking this in 6th place because there's other palettes that are a little less cool tone that I dig. So yeah, I'm ranking it the way it is. It is what it is, okay? I'm sorry, I'm apologizing so much because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I had to do it somehow. Okay, next, I really love this. This is the Urban Neutrals palette from Artitude. Again, it's the vibes, you know, the cool tone, wintry vibes. I like that they did urban neutrals because it kind of reminds you of like skyscrapers and concrete and things like that. This formula is so good. Artitude did such a good job with these two palettes. They also had a palette called the Vintage palette, which I think I ranked in my November rankings. So I'm not going to include it in my December rankings because I didn't use it in December. But this palette is so beautiful, and I feel like Artitude is definitely one of those brands that I want to keep my eye on in 2025 because they've really shown so much progress in the last few years since I've started like trying them out, and so hopefully 2025 will also be another great year for them. Okay, in fourth place, I'm giving it to the Jolie Beauty Spellbound palette. So this palette is definitely more the non-cool tone version of the previous two palettes, and it's definitely over the top. It's a big palette. I really like Jolie Beauty's formula, and I was really excited when they reached out to me and sent me this palette because I've never gotten any PR from them before. So that was really special as well. And I like their formula. I think the shimmers are beautiful. They usually have pressed glitters in their big palettes like this. I couldn't tell if any of these were pressed glitters. I couldn't tell from like swatching them. So I'm not 100% sure because I know I got that question. But I love these colors. You know, these are my like vibes. So I'm totally enjoying this palette from Jolie Beauty. And then in third place, again, another frosty palette, is the collaboration between Bella Beauty Bar and Sassy Fairies. So they launched the Realm of Fairies palette, and this is so cute. Again, Bella Beauty Bar makes one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas, and it's another icy color story, as you can see. So really, it was like from a pile of your favorites. Like, it was really hard because the color stories are quite similar and the brands are all of my favorite like indie brands, so it was really hard to do, but I did decide to give this third place because I think this is a beautiful curated color story and they did an amazing job. Okay, in second place, I'm going to give it to the Wicked Widow, and this is their Tales of Terror, A Haunting palette. This was their Halloween release, I guess you could call it that. But this is a great palette. It's so fun. Definitely different from the other palettes I tried in December, as you can see. So this is a neutral palette with some pops of green and purple, and I love it. It's very like Halloween-esque, but I think you could definitely wear this no matter what time of year. I just love their formula. It's very beautiful, and the metallics just foil on my lids, which makes me drool. So love this one, and I had to give it the second place. Okay, in first place, I'm definitely biased. I'm not gonna lie, okay? This is one of my best friends. Talk to her pretty much every day. But apart from all of that, I also really love my Cinch palette. This is their first palette, the Galactic Visitor palette. And this is really good. Honestly, I'm not just saying this because Angie's my friend. And even if I was saying this because Angie's my friend, or that's what you want to believe, that's fine. I'm gonna hype my girl up. So this is a beautiful palette. Again, it's got a very interesting color story. I would say this is like a half warm, half just like a blue palette. I know Angie loves to wear blue eyeshadow, so that makes sense. This makes sense because I know she loves like mustards, and this is like her kind of vibe if she was gonna wear neutrals. So you definitely see Angie in it. I love the design of this palette. I love the size. I love the artwork she chose. So they just did a really good job. Like, if this was from another indie brand, I'm very confident that this would also be in the #1 spot. I love the eye looks I've created with this palette, and I can't wait to see what else I can do with this palette because I feel like there's a lot of options, and there's a lot of options with all the palettes I included in this video. So I'm definitely not saying things that are exclusive to the Cinch palette here, but this is a great palette, great formula, and I think this one retails for $45, so it's a great price point too. I definitely want to talk more about price this year because I feel like that's something I don't mention, because some palettes I show you guys, I do get sent in PR, and it's definitely a perk of the job. But when it comes to my reviews and first impressions, I want to mention price more if I know what the price is in advance, because I think that's something important to consider with purchasing makeup. I know that there's a huge conversation going on about overconsumption, and people are trying really hard to limit their purchases. So I think that $45 is a reasonable price, and I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's so affordable, like why can't you buy? No, I don't think it's that. I think everybody has their own like price points that they're comfortable with. I just feel like $45 is an attainable price. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in, people talking about more of like the price of things. So I will be curious for your feedback. Also, I forgot to mention at the start, if you're wondering why I don't have any makeup on, it's because I'm waiting for an eyeshadow palette to get delivered. I'm really hoping it gets here before I'm out of time. for filming today. So far, no luck, but I'm going to keep filming, so that's why I don't have any eye makeup on today. But I do have on a beautiful blush from the brand Salt New York. They came out with this like limited edition blush highlighter combo product, and you can also use this on the lips. And as you can see, I've already made a nice little dent in the medium shade. Love that so much. And then I also used my new Beauty Core complexion brushes that I picked up. So yeah, I put those on, and I'm also wearing this lip color from House Labs that I got during the Sephora sale. It's the shade Mocha Matte. And yeah, that's everything that's on my face. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed this ranking video, and I'm definitely going to film a ranking all the palettes I tried in 2024. That'll be up hopefully soon, but let me know what was your favorite palette in the month of December, or what palette are you loving right now? I love hearing from you guys, so let me know down in the comments. Thank you for hanging with me, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. If you have a little bit more time, YouTube should be popping up some suggestions of videos you can watch, and that's all. Bye, friends!